Hey, hello. Happy October, and welcome to another edition of Locked Grooves. It's really funny how the evolution of a listening experience goes from week to week. Um, and this week is going to be basically what you might call head music or cosmic music, space rock, and that's mostly what I have. So it's really going to come as no surprise week after week when I show a lot of the same stuff. But last week we were watching that show with Jack Osborne and Ozzy Osbourne. I think it's called Jack and Ozzy's Adventures around the globe or something to that effect. It's on the Travel Channel, and it was called the episode we watched was called "The Devil Made Me Do It," and basically the premise was they wanted to go down and see where Robert Johnson sold his soul to the devil. So they're right there in the Mississippi Delta. And, I mean, it's country folks. We're talking South. And somebody had made Ozzy, one of the store owners or a music maker, had made Ozzy a harmonica and tuned it just right to where he could play the wizard on. And they were both jamming. They both had their harmonicas, and they were both jamming to the Wizard from Black Sabbath, and it was fantastic. It was great. I loved watching it. And so I took my son in after that episode and played the Wizard for him. We have a little harmonica, and we played around with it. We had a good time. So it made me bring out another Black Sabbath album to listen to. And Master Reality, which we've all heard probably about 1,000 times. And I was kicking back listening, and I thought, this isn't just heavy metal, man. This isn't just doom. This is head music. This is cosmic music here. I mean, they got space rock. I mean, they lull you into a certain their own universe, to their own headspace. Some of the songs on here: Children of the Grave, Lord of this World, Solitude, Into the Void. I mean, they're all great songs to get you into that cosmic mood. It's still heavy metal, but I think there's kind of an evolution there. And then I started kind of wriggling around my collection, and I went through this one. I thought, well, this is probably cosmic music as well. I wanted to listen to it again. And it's The Doors, Best of the Doors. And it really is. It takes you to that 60s cosmic thing without it being overtly cosmic. It's not just instrumentals. So I gave this a spin too. And from that, it just kind of led from one thing to another of what I was listening to. And I've been on a hardcore jazz kick, so I brought out this. I think Agartha is probably... I've mentioned that probably about 5 or 6 times already, but I think that's probably, as far as cosmic jazz, it's probably as cosmic as it gets as far as I know. I'm sure a few of you folks out there might have some other suggestions, but so I just kept following the path, and I listened to this one and totally got into it. Can't beat that. And I started thinking, well, what's the most cosmic band around of all time? And everybody says Pink Floyd, and that's the benchmark for excellent bands or headbands, space rock bands. And I mean, in a way they're right, but I couldn't come up with a favorite band or even a favorite album. But I could come up with a favorite song, with a song that I think is the most cosmic song ever. And that is, of course, my humble opinion. That is Dark Star by the Grateful Dead. Now, you've got to have the live version, I mean, there actually is a single. There's like a 2-minute version of this, but they played this I don't know how many times in concert, and the average is around 20 minutes, and they just take this 2-minute long song and they take into outer space, the realms of the universe, and back again, and twist your mind, and just, I don't know. Every time that you hear it is something different, and they're a great improvisational band. I think the longest Dark Star is like over 40 minutes, and that was in Venetia, Oregon, 1972, I think. But anyway, to me, that's probably the most cosmic song because of where not just the song, but the players and the audience have been with it throughout the years. So then I went and was listening to, I got something in the mail too. Now, I bought this a couple of years ago. I'd never heard of Master Wilburn Burchett's. And I was in a half-price bookstore, and for a grand sum of $20, which was high, for half-price books, I had to listen to it. It was like, what is this? It was made in the 70s. It was obviously private pressed. So I picked it up and loved it. It was, if you've heard any of Master Wilburn Burchett stuff, it's basically kind of ambient, trippy, electronic type stuff. And like it says, it's psychic music for meditation, and that's what it's supposed to be, I guess. I haven't tried to meditate to it, but... So then I got this one. This week, this is a repress, Master Wilburn Burchett's Music of the Godhead. If you go for the originals, it's going to cost you probably over $100. So, what was the name? The Numero Group. The Numero Group. They're the label that reissued these things. And so I'm thankful to them. This cost me $20. Well, another $20, but man, it's the same type of stuff. I mean, there's nothing that's really completely different on it. It did come with this cool little self-addressed envelope, not stamped, and basically it's just instructions on how to meditate. Meditation with music's instructions. And I haven't read this, but it talks about how you might use their music. And this is copywritten 1976, so this is probably a reproduction of something that came in the original. And the one that I bought at half price did not come with this. So this is just a little goodie, it looks like. And if I learn different, if I learn that they're still open doing meditations and they really do want you to send them something, I'll let you know. And then this one finally came after a month. Talk about cosmic music. If you haven't got into these guys, they're called FI or F/I. I just call them FI. Who knows what their real name is? They're my new favorite psychedelic band. They're all instrumental. They trip when they need to trip. They go cosmic when they need to go cosmic. They don't just jam. There's a little bit of composition in there. And it's good stuff. And this is called Further Hallucinations from the Garden of Blenga. And this is kind of homemade. It's like a homemade jacket. Everything is glued on. Front, back, it's... So, I don't know what the pricing was on these. It had to have been below $500. If you haven't heard of Crowd Zone yet, you should check them out. They're part of this new wave of bands that are coming out and just blowing everybody's minds with like I wouldn't say new style of krautrock, but they're kind of reviving it. and they're from Germany, and they call themselves Kraut Zone. Spiritual Retreat. You got Spiritual Retreat Part 1 and Part 2. Each side has one song on it. So, to be honest with you, it's probably just one long jam that they split up into two. This was mastered by Iraq. I think a lot of the stuff coming out of Germany these days is mastered by Iraq. And then Lulu Neudeck did the artwork. Hello, Lulu, if you're watching. I love this little group of people. They come from the band Electric Moon, and they're a collective, and they do Kraut Zone, Electric Moon, the Space Lords, and there's probably some others that I'm forgetting, but it's this great psychedelic realm of people that are just making this awesome music. And on the back it says, "Thanks to all you cosmic minds. May the Kraut be with you. Make Kraut, not war." So, I know some people say it's, well, in the dictionary it says Kraut is a derogatory word towards Germans, and we don't want to be derogatory to any of our brothers and sisters, but I think at this point, when you talk about krautrock, I mean, that's what it is. It's just cool cosmic music, and even the Germans are saying it. I mean, krautrock is krautrock. You know, there's no derogatory in here. This kind of blows your mind. This is Circles Around the Sun, Interludes for the Dead. When the Grateful Dead were doing their last shows last year in July of 2015, they commissioned Neil Castle, who's been in many bands, but right now he's most known for being in the Chris Robinson Brotherhood, and they commissioned him to do the music for their interludes. So before they went on stage, this music was playing. All the Deadheads got to listen to it in between sets, because, you know, Dead, they always have two sets, and second set is always more cosmic than the first. First one just kind of warms you up, and so in between sets they were playing this music, and I'm not sure if it was even going to be released, but people liked it so much that they released it, and it's fantastic. Once again, each side, there's 2 albums, 4 sides, 1 song per side, except for on side 2 there's 2 songs. One of those is 12, one is 10. So if you want to just kind of nod off and go into La La Land, Circles Around the Sun, I totally recommend it. The Acid Mother's Temple, La Novia. I bought this when it came out. 2001, was that? I mean, how many releases do they have? Like, probably one for each person in the world, like 8 billion. They release, I don't know how many albums a year, but they had some that were really good, and then they had some stinkers in there, and this, I think, is one of their better albums. It just starts with a chant, like a theme, and it kind of builds and builds from there. And it's like that on both sides. Each side has it's a side-long song. So you've got, I think, La Novia Part 1 and La Novia 2. Yeah, so it's just basically one long song split up into 2 sides. This album here is Eternal Tapestry, and the name of it is called Guru Overlord. And what drew me to this was the picture here. Yet 2 beautiful women, probably, you know, they're just kicking back. I know this is the 70s because I've kind of done some research, but in my mind back then it was like they're just, where are they? And why would anybody have an album cover like this? I mean, like a space rock band that doesn't have planets and skulls and all types of weirdness on it. This says it all. I mean, this was the 70s. People were dressing like this and smoking and having a great time. And so basically, this album is not unlike the other ones I've showed you tonight. Just really good cosmic head music. It's red, and all the proceeds went to save the orangutans. And I can't remember what rainforest, but it went to a good cause. And I've searched, a couple of years ago, I went and I looked, tried to find, the story behind this picture. And it says photographed by A.J. Sullivan. And from what I could find out, this is A.J.'s wife and this is her sister. And I even found their Facebook pages. Yeah, I'm a stalker, But I just was curious. And today I went looking because I wanted to see if I could find any updates. And I couldn't find anything. It was like whatever they had, they took down. So maybe this photograph made them a little popular and brought them some attention they didn't want to, especially being on this album cover. But, it's a great picture, great album, two beautiful women. What can you ask for? So then, I'm going down the rabbit hole, man. Just, a couple albums a night. I'm just listening. What else do I got to do? Well, yeah, I work, but, I actually picked an album that had the name Cosmic in it. And the group was called Cosmic Letdown. In the Caves. And they're from Eastern Europe, someplace. And, basically, it's just kind of it's really good. It's very droney and repetitive. And every once in a while, it'll come out of that mold and rock you just a little bit. But there's not much rock to it. It's more of a sit in a meditative style, lotus position, and let the sounds wash over your body type album. Totally recommend it. Cosmic Letdown. Check them out. Okay, we were talking about the Crowd Zone earlier, and here is another one of their offshoots. This is called the Paper Moon Sessions, and it says Paper, which is a band, meets Electric Moon, and this was live at Roadburn 2014. And I think it was both bands got up on stage and just jammed for a while, and they recorded it, and it sounds fantastic. One song on side A and one on B, and the name of the song on side A is called Powdered Stars, which is pretty cool. And then B is Blazing Milky Way. But it's got, your same performers, Sulu Basana, Comet Lulu, from Electric Moon. I don't see their drummer. Is that their drummer? I don't think. I could be wrong there. But anyway, Electric Moon is one of those bands that's coming out with a lot of albums and has a lot of backlog. But the problem being is you make an album, it's 500 copies or whatever. You better hurry up and get one while it's still cheap, because after that, you're talking in the 80s to $100 just to get a copy. And, a lot of folks don't want to pay that much. And this one is still out there. I don't pay that much for an album. So, unless it's like a triple or a quadruple, then I'll do something. And for the last one of the day, it's, as far as head music goes, because I've really been in the clouds this week. It's the new Electric Orange album called Misophonia. And misophonia means the hatred of sound. So it's a bit ironic. And I heard this on iTunes, YouTube, and was blown away by what I heard. It's your typical stuff that's coming out of Europe and Germany right now. Just a bunch of people jamming and improvising, and it just all sounds good. But this sounded better than most. It was it's guitar driven, but lighter on the guitar. It's like a mellow guitar, almost like Jerry Garcia's guitar in a way. But I don't really want to make that comparison. It's just really mellow space rock, and it's good to kick back to. And I had to find it, and everything on Discogs was like $65 or whatever. And I found this for like $30 on eBay. And it has something cool. It's numbered. So I got number 31 of 1200. I don't know what that means, but I'm a collector, but I don't really care that much as long as I get something that sounds good. And can't really tell. But it's a orange and black mixture. So it's kind of cool. You know, you got the Halloween feel to it. And like I said, I was lucky enough to get this one before it skyrocketed. So anyway, that's it for tonight's episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and go out and listen to some of this stuff. I mean, it's really good, and it's music. Good music is still being made every day. I mean, it's being released. It's just I can't keep up with it, man. It's all out there. It's all over the internet, YouTube, Bandcamp, blogs, stuff like this. I watch a bunch of these videos a week, and I learn about new bands, so exploration continues. You guys have a good week, and we'll see you next time.